I'm in a BMW i3 and we've had a couple of problems with this car and nobody seems to know what the answer is. You can hear it. It's a freezing cold day today. It is 0 degrees, and when you put the charging lead in, as soon as you put the charging lead in, the car starts, all the fans start up on the car. I'm going to tell you about a problem that we've had with the BMW i3, and it seems it's a very, very common problem throughout the internet, all over the world. People are having the same problem, and it's a BMW i3 with a range extender, the one. A friend of mine wanted one of these cars. I got the car for him. It came off lease. Nice enough car. Everything was okay. It was probably about, it was on a 3 years lease, so about 2 weeks after the warranty ran out, we got it. And it was all right for a couple of months. And then one day he plugged the charging lead in, and after it had been charging for about 2 hours, all the fans came on. And when I say all the fans, I mean the aircon fans as well. And the aircon, you know, when you're sat in traffic, it's a red hot sunny day, you've got the aircon on, there's no breeze blowing through the car engine, through the condenser at the front and through the radiator. Then all of a sudden the fans come on, and it's a twin fan on the front of the car, and it makes a really, really loud noise, and it has to. It's trying to cool it down as quick as possible. So these fans are going like flipping propellers. Anyway, sure enough, it started becoming more frequent, and a shorter time after he plugged it in, and the noise was so bad. He used to leave it overnight, but he couldn't because the noise was so bad. It'd come on in the middle of the night when he was charging. So he then started charging it during the day, which is, you know, the dearest time to get electricity. And my mate's got the patience of a saint. Nothing bothers him at all. But it was getting worse and worse. So I went round and I surmised it was something to do with the cooling and how it operates, whether there was a heat sensor that was wrong. At one point I even suspected it was perhaps something to do with a plug. So it was quite awkward, and what I did, I reduced, you can have it on low charge, medium charge or fast charge. So I reduced the charge to medium, and it stopped. It worked all right, and it was happy as anything. A few more months went by, no problem at all. Then it started again, but it started as soon as he plugged the charging lead in. All the fans had come on. With it being a range extender, as I say, patience of a saint. If this had been a normal customer, then I would assume they'd have been camped outside our door. So I had a couple of looks at it, and I got it code red at our garage, and so many codes came up. It was just unbelievable. In fact, let me just see if I can find them here. This is some of them. Compressor shut down due to overpressure in refrigerant system. DTC failed, most recent test. DTC failed on current operation cycle. DTC is stored as pending. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Compressor shut down due to vacuum in the refrigerant cycle. DTC is stored as pending. DTC failed one or more times, stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. These are all the screens. Deactivation of terminal 30B, top startability limit reached. DTC is stored as pending. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. Terminal 30B active, startability limit reached, or terminal 30B active for a long time. DTC is stored as pending. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. Reset or deactivation of terminal 30F. DTC is stored as pending. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC test not completed this operation cycle. electric motor controls, battery management electronics, SME, code 0, electric motor controls, charging interface module limit, code 2. AC emergency charging detected. DTC is stored as pending. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Charging plug lock function in plausible state. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Electric motor controls, convenience charging electronics, KLE, code 0. Electric motor controls, electric machine electronics, code 7. Charge management function, check control message 802, check charging cable, DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Charge management function, fault during the charging process. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Charge management function, check control message 804, unable to charge. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Information emergency, running manager, low state of charge of the high voltage battery. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Another screen, information emergency, running manager, engine ECU unable to activate driving readiness. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once or since last code clear. Undocumented code, AC charging network voltage exists in spite of charging readiness being not ready. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Instrument cluster, redundant, data file in partner ECU. DTC failed one or more times and stored in long-term memory. DTC failed at least once since last code clear. Parking maneuver assistant, code 0. Instrument panel, code 1. So first thing, before you do anything else, is of course you check it out on Google and get good old Dr. Google. So in the search engine, BMW and BMW i3 fan noise when charging. So we click on that and then you see what you don't want to see really. But you would think from all these searches, there's videos here, all sorts, the blog spots, BMW advice, Bimmer post, i3 guide, fan. So we've got here fan noise images for BMW fan noise, BMW i3 thermal management system, BMW i3 charging. So there's all this stuff, and I went through pretty much most of it expecting to find somebody with a simple cure. Couldn't find anything. So as a last resort, I booked it in with BMW, our local dealer, and took the car down there early morning to find, even though I'd booked it in on a Friday with the Preston branch, or what I thought was the Preston branch, it was booked in with Blackburn. We only found that out later on the day. However, kindly enough, they decided to go ahead. And we'd given them, they wanted a 1 hour diagnostic. And I did say to them, well, you know, this 1 hour diagnostic is all right, but the internet is full of these problems. We can't be the first ones to come. You must have a central knowledge base. You must have a central database. You must be able to phone up head office and say, these are the symptoms. As soon as you plug the charging lead in, all the cooling fans come on. And now I've done air conditioning. I used to have my own air conditioning machine because I just saved myself thousands of pounds, but I just haven't got time to do it anymore. So I know a bit about aircon, and I knew it was the aircon fans that were coming on. So I'd explained really, really well all the symptoms, every time it comes on, why it comes on, what happens, what you do. And I thought they'd have been able to just say, like we would in the old Vauxhall days, we had a service manager, and before the days you've got service managers now who are absolutely useless, these guys used to know what they were doing. If you had a problem, they'd come down, take the jacket off, and they'd help you and they'd work with you till you sorted it out. Not these days. I'd have just been able to phone our service manager up, Vauxhall service manager up, and he'd have probably known off the top of his head. You don't need to search everything on the BMW database. So consequently, after an hour, they rang up and said, we've not diagnosed it yet, we need another hour. Now, as I say, I'd suspected it was a fault with the air conditioning, but the thing that threw me off the trail was all these fault codes. It just looked as though it couldn't be something so simple. I would have expected perhaps a pressure gauge, a pressure sensor to be highlighted as faulty or wrong pressure, and I would have gone from there. So 2 hours went by, nothing, and then eventually I kept ringing them. Eventually in the afternoon we went to pick the car up, and they told us they thought it was a condenser had a leak. To which point we had a bit of a discussion with the service manager. I didn't think the service was very good. I think it was about £100 an hour for diagnostics, which I think they should have known straight away. All right, 100 quid, fair enough. 200 quid, that's I think that's pushing it a little bit. 2 hours for fully trained BMW agents with all the stuff. I think that's taking the mickey. That's my personal opinion, though. So we got it back to the garage anyway, and we put a new condenser on. The condenser's cracked due to I don't know what. My friend, I put a 2-year warranty on it with Car Care Plan. Car Care Plan assured us at the time that this warranty was nearly as good as a new car warranty, but they don't want to pay out either. So doing the job at full retail, we've put a new condenser on. We've had to regas it. The gas now, it used to cost very little money for the gas, but they've now replaced it with some special stuff, and it costs a fortune. I think I used to pay 80 quid for a big pressurized container. Now the same container is about 400 or 500 quid. So we did the job today. We put a condenser on, regassed it. Lo and behold, that's cured it. So it was the condenser on ours. There's several other things to go which are cheaper. As I say, this was 385 quid at full retail, but it would also cost another £200 if you took it to a BMW garage. So 600 quid to fix this common problem, which is common on the internet. Let me just see. Let's just see this. There you go. That's the noise it makes. That's the noise it makes when you're charging. You can't tell me BMW don't know about that. And as I say, I think it's just a downright con. I think it's a fault with the car. I think the condensers are made out of aluminium, and first of all, the warranty company trying to say it's fair wear and tear or corrosion, but it's aluminium. Anyway, but the thing is, it's now fixed. So all you people out there with this problem with the BMW i3 with the range extender, and I think it's only common to the range extender, you need to check your air conditioning. It may just need a regas. That's the first thing I'd do. Regas, or check your aircon system. It might be something simple, might be a hole in the condenser, whatever. That's it. But it was driving my friend to distraction. He couldn't even charge his car. He's been running around with it on the range extender, on the 600cc generator or whatever it's got. So that's it. It's your air conditioning. Hopefully this video has just saved you all the time we've spent trying to find out what it was over the last probably 12 months, and also 200 quid diagnostic fee for something that we'd already suspected. It would have been cheaper just to go ahead and go with my gut feeling. But you live and learn. I've been in the motor trade for 50 years and I'm still learning. So I hope that's helped you. I hope I save you a lot of money. I hope I save you from scratching your head wondering what the problem can be. The worst thing is when you code read it and you see 8 pages of codes. That, you know, tends to point to something absolutely catastrophically wrong. But it was the aircon. So thanks for watching the video. If it's been of any use to you, please like and subscribe. If you're looking for a car, check out our website, which is ggcars.co.uk. Our web store is bccars.co.uk. You can find anything and everything on there for a petrol head. Anybody who's interested in cars. And thanks for watching once again. Thank you.